So, in this video, I'm going to be giving you some visualization tips I've learned from Psycho-Cybernetics. This is going to be like a very quick summary of, I think, around 40% of the book I've read. So, I've learned a lot, and there are some practical advices in here that I can teach you right off the bat without you reading the book. And so I want this video to be as authentic as possible, so I haven't prepared a script or anything. So I will just be going off the words in my brain. But before we begin talking about all of these tips and practical advices from this book, I'd like to give you a quick life update about myself. If you don't give a shit, and if you're a new viewer or anything, I'll link the timestamp in the comments for you to skip to. It's fine, but essentially my life update right now is something weird happened. And I guess it is a learning experience, but it seems to have narrowed down my decision on what the best state of recording is. So if you don't know what best state of recording is literally just what you do beforehand that leads to an extremely like high energy and good video. So two examples which are like really good for my recording state is one, at night. I'm so fucking calm, so like unaware of anything, and so I can like speak directly from the brain without any stutters for some reason. But it doesn't really make sense because throughout the whole day I've been overloading my brain with tasks and reading, etc. So it doesn't really make sense. I think the contributing factors to the nighttime best state of recording is probably just because I ate a heavy carb meal and I'm relaxed. But then that slows down your brain, so it doesn't really make sense again. And then the other is me rush walking or speed walking to school, doing a test. It probably, without the test, it would be better, but speaking with a little bit of people, light social interactions, and then walking back home with a very fast pace, taking a shower again, and then going to my workstation, and then now I'm recording from that. I felt a very, very deep demotivation from this certain one thing. I'll just tell you what it is. There was this first time on camera saying this. There was this cute girl. I wanted to approach her. She was fairly cute. I mean, I wanted to approach her. I was like fucking pre-visualizing myself approaching her. I didn't do it, bro. I didn't fucking do it, but I promise you, I got such a fucking like demotivating feeling, and I just felt like my testosterone levels went down. Oh, I feel sorry for myself. Good news is that I've fixed that now. I'm still motivated again because I'm a master of emotions. I'm a stoic motherfucker. As in, I literally just laid on my bed there and visualized myself actually approaching her again. Bro, this is what this book does to you. You just apply everything. If you start reading, you apply everything in your life. You notice so many more things. But back to the point. I promise you for a fact, if I see her again, through doing visualizations of me succeeding in different sectors of work, actually approaching her, and there won't be anything stopping me. I will go ahead and talk to her. It's not about I'm not trying to do anything like, I'm not trying to pick up artists here. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm literally just going to give without trying to get. And then hopefully it works. Anyways, back to the point of this video. Visualizations. The main practice this guy talks about is actually it's very simple, but if you read it and then you actually want to try it, like there's some mental barrier towards doing it. So let me just find a page here. Set aside a period of 30 minutes each day when you can be alone and undisturbed. Relax and make yourself as comfortable as possible. Now close your eyes and exercise your imagination. You want to imagine your end result and as vividly and as detailed as possible. You want to like do it for 30 minutes. I know it seems daunting, but honestly, bro, this book needs to go more in depth on how you're gonna do this, because when I first read the practical practical chapter or practical tip of actually visualizing. Once I actually tried to do it, it didn't really let me. I kind of just wanted to go out after like 5 minutes of visualizing. Bro, I'm going to tell you how to actually go ahead and do it, like with depth and like lead you by the hand, basically, because I've done it and it's easier than you think, honestly. So what you actually want to do is first take baby steps, okay? You don't want to rush straight into it. Oh, I'm just gonna visualize my success, bro. You don't even know what you're gonna visualize yet. So what I suggest you do, or at least what I did, and this helped me like significantly, is write down on a piece of paper all the things you believe about yourself that is holding you back. So all of the false beliefs, basically. In the book, he explains this as dehypnotizing yourself. So if you're like insecure, anxiety, you think people are looking at you, imposter syndrome, superiority, inferiority complex, if you have any of those, just analyze yourself really quickly, write down everything that would solve those problems, what you want to visualize, and the end goal of it. So I'll give you an example of mine is recording the best videos, having an insane flow of words in videos. That's one of my visualizations. Another visualization that I was doing during like a school exam when I finished the paper early, there was 30 minutes left. I was visualizing literally myself like 20 something years old, pretty old. I got a hot girlfriend, and I bring her back to Malaysia, meet my family. Everyone's reuniting. My cousins, my uncles, they all come to my house or my grandmother's house, and they all reunite, have an amazing dinner together. I have enough money to like refurbish the house, the like crappy little Malaysian house, and that's one of my visualizations. I can't give you all of the details because like that'll just let you into my brain. But now that you've written down every single thing that you want to dehypnotize yourself with, so all your false beliefs that you've gone from like childhood. So again, he explains this in the book of how you can get fucked early on in life. So let's say you failed this test, your teacher says, oh, you're so fucking stupid. You go ahead and believe that, and then on the next test you fail again. What do you think that does to you? That will reinforce your mindset and your identity of being naturally shit at school. And then that's basically a 40-second quick discount section explanation of dehypnotizing yourself. Now, the next step is to actually go ahead and eliminate all the things that aren't essential. If you've done this correctly and made like a list of 10 things maybe, or just everything you can list down, you want to cut down or cross out all of the visualizations that isn't really important and have like only 2 or 3 really, really important visualizations that you want to do. So this is the important part. You have to force yourself to do it, whether that be like getting into a comfortable position on your bed, or taking a shower and sitting in your garden and like being refreshed with the wind, and go ahead and doing that. I'm naming my examples. Get yourself to actually just initiate it, whether you have to use the 5-minute thing. Oh, I'm only gonna do this for 5 minutes. Doesn't matter. Just get yourself to close your eyes and actually start doing it. Once you've done that, the very, very important part is keep on doing it with extreme detail. Extreme detail as in the feelings, how does the thing feel, what smells are you smelling, what things are you hearing, what expressions are people's on his face, the little dots on people's faces. That's an example from this book. Now once you have that, you lay out your scene, and you'll find that your brain is actually just naturally adding to that scene. You'll add more and more things that happen into that scene. Now you will get to a point where it seems like you can't add anymore. I assure you, you can. Just let your eyes be closed for another 30 seconds. You'll find that something new appears. It always fucking does. I can't exaggerate you how powerful this is, because honestly, If you skip to this point without like watching the life update part, then you wouldn't get this. But essentially, I was getting this huge feeling of demotivation, and un I undemotivated myself. I'm back to being motivated, back to being high energy and driven. Do you know why? I visualized. I visualized for a solid 20 minutes. Now, I know you may not be able to do the 30-minute at the start, but day by day, he said in the book, the more you do it, the more detailed it gets, the more detailed it gets, the more effective and the more potent the effects will be in actually rewiring your brain and like assuming the identity. And so to really give you the gist of it and make you really believe in this practice, if you think of, I'm trying to think of the best example. If you just think of someone you really like, some girl that you really like, what happens? You may have heard Hamza give you this example before, but it really, really brings out the power of visualization. Because honestly, bro, your nervous system doesn't realize what the difference between imagination and real. At least your nervous system. And so if you give your nervous system this imagination of you being actually a successful person, your body will react to that. And then your face and your energy will come across as an actually like whole confident man. Then you go ahead and act it out. This, of course, you can't just visualize everything and then it will happen. This isn't about the law of attraction or whatever. It seems like woohoo or wishy-washy. Well, do you know what Iman Gaji called this book? Literally like the law of attraction, but more practical and more like making sense. And so what I advise you to do after visualizing is literally just go and act it out. You don't have to make it 100% success. So let's say you're going to talk to a girl, you want to like, get to know her and like, become boyfriend, girlfriend. You don't need a massive success to rewire your brain to thinking you're like a good with women. You don't need to do that. All you need is like, oh hello. That the tiniest success will rewire your brain. At least this guy claims it so. So now that I've given you like almost all of the practical steps, I want to give you some important information that you might want to know. If you don't want to know, then this is probably the most practical point in the video, everything I've said so far. So if you want to click off now, you can. But I think the ones that actually stay will get so much value from this. You'll actually understand how it works. So he talks about this mechanism in the brain. He says that humans are like in control of a very, very, very powerful computer. They aren't the computer themselves. What he's saying here is you, the conscious brain, so like thinking math equations, whatever, or like speaking right now, you, the conscious brain, control the subconscious brain. And he makes it a very, very clear point that the subconscious brain is an extremely powerful computer. So powerful, in fact, that like he lists examples of this like brain surgery, and the brain surgeon tapped like some part of the brain, and then that gave the guy who's getting the surgery like vivid flashbacks to his memories. It's like almost playing a video, the guy said. And so from saying that, he's trying to elaborate a point of how your brain, your subconscious brain at least, is so incredibly powerful that no computer can replicate it. And if you want to replicate a very, very small part of the brain, you'll have to have extremely like large amounts of material and like to build the computer for a small part of the brain. He says that in this subconscious brain of ours is, I think, two mechanisms. One mechanism is the automatic mechanism of like, let's say you're picking up an object. Your conscious brain tells your subconscious brain what to do. So if you were to pick up an item, for example, this water bottle cap, your conscious brain didn't do that. And to really convey this point to you, try to pick up an object and list before you do it, before every action of like clasping your hand, going forwards, list out, tell your hand what to do. Say the exact instruction of what your hand's going to do, and you'll find that your hand automatically goes like further, goes ahead of your instructions and picks it up. That is a clear example, at least for me. That's how I experimented, and like that's how I learned of this like theory. The automatic mechanism is also very powerful. He says that he gives you an example of a baseball player of like running. You have to run so fast, and you have to know what angle to position yourself. You have to know when to stop. Every one of those calculations, if they were compared to a computer's like programming operations, it would fail in comparison to your brain. And so that's how powerful the automatic mechanism is. Now the second mechanism is called creative mechanism. In creative mechanism, there is success mechanism and failure mechanism. Now these two are very reactive to what you give them, what inputs you give them from the outside world, what information you feed it, what people you hang around. It is very receptive to all of these things. Specifically on your goals, what goals you set it. He makes it a point here that it's not only the people who set New Year's resolution goals like, oh, go to the gym. Bro, the homeless man, the drug addict has the same amount, like has as much goals as the CEO entrepreneur, believe it or not. But they just don't know of it. They're not aware of it. Do you get what I mean? Like the drug addict will probably want drugs. That's a goal. And so failure mechanism simply means having a bad goal. And so your brain will go towards that goal. So for example, the drug addict, he would want drugs. And so his brain would like conjure up thoughts over a period of time on how to get those drugs. And so the CEO would have the success mechanism on his side. And this mechanism would keep on going in his brain, figure out problems, how to get into a new business venture, investing, etc., how to figure out the company's problems. That is the difference between the two. And so literally just this video, I wasn't planning to give you a whole book summary on this. I was just literally trying to like give you the practical how to visualize tips. But if you found value from this video, make sure to subscribe, like, etc. Buy my $1 million course, invest in me. In a bit, bro.